Hey, what's up guys, and welcome in this new tutorial where I'm gonna show you 5 drum programming tips for tech house. So before starting with this tutorial, I would like to remind you that all of the samples are from our pack Flow, which is a rolling tech house collection that includes loops, one-shots, construction kits and much more that you can check out from the link in the description below. So let's take a listen to this loop. We have a kick drum, clap, a couple of open hats, closed hi-hats, a couple of percussion and a bass line. And we're gonna start right on with the first tip, which is gonna be about layering your kick drum. So I'm gonna go on the kick, we're gonna make it solo. As you can see, we have a transient master reducing a bit of the attack and an EQ8 cutting the very top, and we're just simply gonna duplicate it and we're gonna call this new track top kick. And here we are basically gonna add a really short transient that we can get from a kick or from a percussion to make the whole kick drum stand out a bit more in the track. So we're gonna go into Flow and we're gonna go into our kick folder and see if we have some kick drums with some good transients. Something like this. We're gonna cut the low frequencies. In this way we only have the thump of the kick and we can layer it with our main kick drum. So I'm gonna start from 0 and we're gonna slowly bring it in. Okay, like this, and now we have a much more powerful kick that will stand out a bit more in your drum section. So we can move forward into the second tip, which is adding ghost notes. So there are a few ways that you can do that, but I'm gonna show you my favorite one here on this percussion, for example. Like this. So basically when we want to add a ghost note, what we actually want to do is add the same percussion or the same hi-hat at a lower volume in a different part of the track. So I think that the best way that we can do that is by using a drum rack. So here we have only the one shot inside of the simpler, but we're gonna use a drum rack and we're gonna load back the percussion number 10. So what we're gonna do is gonna be duplicate the percussion in a new key, and we're gonna reduce the volume of this one a bit like this, and then we can easily see the previous pattern that we had on the main percussion and add our ghost notes. So we can also call this one ghost. So here you can see better which one are the ghost notes and which one are the main percussions. And we can do the same with the closed hi-hats, for example. So we're gonna have to put the drum rack once again. We're gonna load our previous closed hi-hat here, making sure that the MIDI is on the right key. And then we're gonna simply duplicate it, call it ghost, use the volume to around -20 dB, and then we can add some ghost notes. Okay, like this. Obviously you can do that with as many elements as you want, so I've just done that with the hats and the percussion to give you an example. So let's move forward with the third tip, which is gonna be adding swing. So you can do that in different ways. There is a manual way to do that and an automatic way to do that. So we are going inside of the second percussion. Basically what happens with most of the grooves is gonna be that on the second and on the fourth we're gonna have to delay the start of the percussion at or whatever instrument you're using. So it will sound something like this. gonna do the same here on the percussion. So we're gonna do that on the ghost and on the main percussions. As you can hear, we have much more groove. The way that you can do that automatically is by going into the groove pool inside of Ableton. Usually I like to go with 16th, so here you can see all the different 16th. And for example, I like to use the MPC. Here the numbers 54, 57, 61, 64 and so on are basically the intensity of the groove. So we can enable the groove pool, load 61 for example. Here we can reset our percussion. Then we can go here, select the groove, and with the arrow we will have the actual visualization of the groove. So as you can see, it's basically the same thing that we did manually. So on the second, this percussion has been delayed a bit. So the next drum programming tip has to do with hi-hats. In particular, we're gonna make the hi-hats more dynamic. We're gonna use the closed hi-hats because they are the ones that are a bit more boring and more repetitive inside of the mix, while with the open hi-hat you can create some variations, for example here doubling the open hat and so on and so forth. So we're gonna focus on the closed hat for this example. Now, the most obvious way to do this is to simply change the velocity of the single hi-hat hits. So you can go here and do a bit of random shifting of the different velocities, something like this. So let's reset everything to 100, and now I'm gonna show you a more convenient and different way. So we're gonna select all of the closed hi-hats. We're gonna hold command and we're gonna drag down the velocity here, like around 50%. Then we are going into the MIDI effects and we're gonna use the velocity MIDI effect, and we're gonna select a range here, so like this, and this will automatically randomize the different notes for the range that we have selected here. Yeah, as you can hear, if I go to 64, you can clearly hear the difference, but we can go a bit more subtle at around 30. In the last tip, we're gonna cover some reverse drum effects. So we're gonna start with the clap. As you can see, we have the clap number 6. So we're gonna add a new track and we're gonna add the clap here, like this. And here in Ableton, simply by clicking on R, you're gonna reverse the clip. So we're gonna reduce a bit of the gain, and for example we can use this clap right before the last clap of the 4th bar. Okay, maybe we can do something like that, cutting a bit of the final part. Otherwise, you can also do that every bar, so something like this. In this case, I recommend having the reverse clap at lower volume so that it doesn't sound too boring and too repetitive. Obviously, you can do the same thing with the open hi-hats. So in this case, we have open hi-hat 4 and we are gonna put it here and we are gonna reverse it. The cool thing about the open hi-hats is that you can use them right before the open hat, or you can use them as a transition effect. So for example, we can put them at the end of the loop. And obviously you can also do that with the percussions. Here you can pick a random percussion. So something like this, and you can put this one here, for example. Obviously you can also add some delay and reverb and automations to make everything sound a bit more professional, but in general that's all for this tutorial, where I've shown you 5 different drum programming tips for tech house. Don't forget to check out Flow from the link in the description below. Let us know what tutorials would you like to see next, and I'll see you soon. Bye!